G'day fellas and welcome to a very special casted game. Spawning in over on the west hand side of the map, we've got Casva playing the Chinese in the color blue, and his opponent who spawns in on the east side of the map playing the Chinese in the color red, Demuslim. This is a very special game because we are playing on, you guessed it, Warring Islands. It has been so long since I've seen a game on this map. The last time I watched a game on this map, we saw a wonder coming out. So maybe we'll see a wonder coming out this game. Very interestingly, I would just like to say the meta has obviously shifted significantly because these two players, this is a quick search match, have gone for Chinese. It is very, very rare, at least it used to be very, very rare to see the Chinese on a map like this. You didn't see it at all. And the reason why was just because you had the French, you had the English, you had the I was going to say the Germans, you had the HRE, you had the Rus eventually come along, and people learned how to use these civilizations. And then eventually you even had the Mongols. We saw Beastie Cutie climbing up the ladder using the Mongols only, and even using it on maps like this, where he was able to just completely overwhelm his opponent with his early numbers. And you know, we've now seen it change to where we've got both players, Casva and Demuslim. And I will say, Demuslim has a proclivity to play Chinese, but Casva, not so much. He's not a big Chinese player. It's kind of crazy to see that both players would opt in that direction. So I'm curious to see what direction they go with this game, having chosen the Chinese. Whether we're going to be seeing some sort of like fast Imperial coming out, who knows? But I would expect that we're going to be seeing war junks. That's what I have a feeling we're going to be seeing. War junks typically are a very, very strong naval unit. So that is always going to be something that gets thrown around. We'll check in with these players, see how they're doing. Casva, 6 villagers on wood opening us up. No Imperial official just out just yet. 4 villagers on food. He's also got the one that's out here, so that's technically 5, and also got that fishing boat out. Just enough villagers to maintain that settler production, and all the rest going over onto wood. We'll check in over with his opponent, see exactly what he is up to. Demuslim with 8 villagers already, and just a handful of villagers actually out doing some gathering of the shoreline fish, so not even using the sheep carcasses that are underneath the town center. Instead, just going straight out onto this. Now, keep in mind, the shoreline fish gathers very fast. So if you are playing China, or any civilization for that matter, you've got a dock out here, and you've got shore fish that are close by, and this is close by, then that is really what you want to be focusing on, just because that gather rate is much higher than even sheep right underneath the town center. But he's got 9 villagers on wood. Now going to be sending out a villager out onto his gold mine. Got to be careful, there's a wolf nearby. And keep in mind, those wolves will aggro. They do kind of roam as well. They will move just a very small amount at a time, but like you might see it like move just to like here. You can see it just with its legs moving. In fact, let's watch the wolf for a little bit. The little bitey infantry. We'll watch the little fella, see what he gets up to, whether he decides to aggro over here towards this villager on the gold mine. He may do so, he may not. He's thinking about it. He's smelling it out. No. He's having a look. He's not going to do it. Not today. 10 villagers on wood at the moment. So I would normally say that is a lot of villagers on wood. That's more than what you need just for your standard dock. So you're going to be building up quite a significant surplus of wood. And then it's sort of like, you've got to ask the question, what are you going to be doing with that wood if you've got a surplus? Do you add a second dock in? Do you look to put something else on the land? Are we going to potentially see a second town center come out? I actually thought that was a stone mine. That is not a stone mine. That is a stone mine want-to-be. That right there, that's your stone outcropping. This is your fake stone outcropping. Like, you know when DJT talks about fake news? This is fake stone outcropping. So watch out for that. That'll get you. But now it looks like Scout going to be coming down on the other side of the island. Going to be continuing to scout out. I think it's probably the right idea as well. You want to keep your Scout down here just to watch for those proxies coming out. But over on his opponent's side, Casva, we'll see how he's doing. Still only with the single dock at this stage, so both players mirroring each other, and we actually see a forced drop-off coming in. I'm seeing what exactly he was going for with that forced drop-off. He forced... Oh, okay. He forced drop-off for the Imperial official. Okay. So, a little bit of a tip, you actually lose resources from doing that. So what he did was he forced all of his villagers to drop off at the same time, and then picked up from the Imperial official. But yeah, so you lose resources just from the walk time. So it's not worth doing it. It's just better to do it naturally. But down over on the Barbican of the Sun, or rather down on the shoreline, we've got the Barbican of the Sun being dropped down right next to the dock. I'm suspecting that we don't actually. We've got Demuslim dropping down an Imperial Academy, and it does look like it is within influence of the dock. So getting a nice little radius there. Has obviously got all the lumber camps covered as well. You can see how much of this wood he's already worked through. It looks like he's gone through about half of it already. Actually, yeah, about a third of it. And yeah, looking to turn his attention towards his economy. So at this stage, no players still yet to gather up any stone, so no double town centers, but I'm curious to see how we're going to be watching it. I would suspect that we're probably going to be seeing fast castles coming out from these guys into war junks, but it looks like we're going to just be opening Demuslim up with a little junk, so no war junk just yet. Behind this, he's got 5 villages on gold, so definitely not a serious amount. When it comes to, you know, what a serious amount of villages on gold is, 8, 9. That's a serious amount. That's where you're starting to talk about fast castle territory. So, yeah, we'll see how he plays it. He's obviously got the Imperial officials out there gathering up those resources as well. We're going to see that light junk come out, or it's just a junk, come out very shortly. But plenty of fishing boats out for him, 10 fishing boats for him, 11 fishing boats out for Cassava. Cassava obviously got the Barbican of the Sun here to defend. Going to be going with the double dock. Now, this is a serious amount of gold he's got stacked up. 600 gold. So could potentially look at going for that fast castle. Could look for a +1 play. Could look to get one of these upgrades, extended lines, additional sails. Maybe get that movement speed in. Gonna have a difficult time dealing with this, though. The seaweed that's here. I don't really know what to call this. Like, it's obviously, there's fog. But, like, yeah, I try and think about, like, the open ocean. Like, when is there a situation where you can't see, like, beyond your nose into the open ocean? Maybe when you're underwater? But, yeah. Anyway, we'll worry about that later. Junk's now coming out. It looks like we did have the double dock added on the southern side of the base. And now going to be coming in underneath this this southern position and looking to actually meet the junk of his opponent. Going to get forced back to find his second one. And you can really see the difference, or not necessarily the difference, but when it comes to being defensive on these maps, you're always going to have that advantage, that defender's advantage. And that's the difference right there. So even if you've got about a 30 or 40 second lead on your enemy, by the time you get your units over there, they're going to have theirs out in time. And that's exactly what we've got now. Cassava going to be looking to defend here. You can see that Demuslim coming in for a bit of a dive here, looking to get on those fishing boats. Fishing boat going to be falling back. You can see they're actually healing it up, preventing it from being killed. He's trying once again to snipe out this fishing boat. First one going to be going down, I think. Indeed it does, and bringing it underneath over towards the Barbican, and actually going to be doing a pretty decent job of forcing it out. You can see that the junk gets down to less than 100, or almost less than 100 HP. It's got 122 at the moment on fire, but that's not going to burn, don't worry. Third age now going to be coming through for Cassava. So he'll be looking to click up. I wouldn't be surprised if we see... We actually have the astronomical clock tower, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Imperial Academy or the Imperial Palace coming out, but is not to be the case. Not today. Back on the other side, looks like Demuslim going to be dropping down the same thing. So both players opting to go for this sort of semi-fast castle play, just getting a few units out on the map. Does have that triple dock. And I'm curious to see whether we're going to be spotting war junks coming out or whether we're actually going to be spotting the dreaded explosive junk. Now, keep in mind, explosives, it's an age 4 technology, not an age 3 technology. So if you look to go for just like full explosive junk, it's going to be quite a while before you actually get that upgrade. But there are really sneaky ways that you can play it. And this map has actually got a lot of great avenues for you to do that as well. So this is number 1. So you can see right here, Demuslim doesn't have line of sight into this seaweed or this stealth forest here. And as a result, you can hide your junks in there. Players aging up within a second of each other right there. You can see how close these guys are. And now it looks like we'll have a look at what we've got with regard to our production. So it looks like a war junk is going to be the way that Demuslim goes. We'll have a look and see what Cassava is doing. Cassava actually going for Navigator Lookout, so increases the sight range of military ships by 2 and their weapon range by 1. So actually looking to get upgrades and then go into a war junk. So very curious difference between these two. And now we've got a little bit of a push coming in as Cassava, with the number advantage, begins to put some damage on towards his opponent. Now looking to get into the fishing economy of his opponent as well. And Cassava going to be under potential threat because that war junk is out. You can see how much damage that's going to do as well. 120 a pop right there. Got to be so careful fighting up against that. Another fishing boat going to be going down. Cassava managing to do quite a fair bit of damage here. He's going to be able to get out without taking any losses. And he'll be very happy with himself after that little victory right there. How many fishing boats remain right now for Demuslim? We'll do a quick check. I've got 9 on my screen at the moment. It looks like a total of 9 are out for him. War junk, another war junk going to be coming out down towards the south here. When we do a comparison, we've got 11 still for Cassava on his side of the map. So a little bit of a lead when it comes to the fishing economies for these players. But when we'll check the upgrades, you can see that lumber preservation yet to be researched for Caspar. By the same token, forestry has been is being researched, but no double broadaxe for Demuslim. So despite him being up in the Castle Age, still yet to get that upgrade. But now players gonna be looking to potentially fight off in the middle of the map. We'll have a look at the production. We'll see what it looks like. Just got fishing boats coming out at this stage with a few more war junks. So what is got? Oh my god! He's got them shift clicked onto... Look at that. I didn't know that was a thing you could do. You can literally tell it to shift click from here to there to there. That's awesome. So, like, when it runs out here, it'll go to there. That's so smart. I've never seen that. I didn't know you could shift click a building. I mean, it makes sense. I just never realized that you could do it. Like, you can shift click units. Why shouldn't you be able to shift click buildings? I mean, why would you need to? Maybe you want to rally them in a certain like way or angle? Oh, that's really cool. I've never seen that before. Got the dynasty now coming through for Demuslim. Going to be adding the Barbican of the Sun up towards this north position. Going to be taking out a few of his trees as he does it, but he'll be able to defend this position quite effectively against any potential attacks. But keep in mind with the Barbican of the Sun, does have a very limited range. So the range on this bad boy, it's only 8 tiles, and that might seem like a lot, but in reality, it's really not. You could see, like, as an example, if some junks got in here, you know, they're able to essentially idle the full fishing economy, force it into this little area here, right underneath the Barbican. That's pretty much the only place that is actually able to be defended. But now it looks like Caspar going to be pushing up towards this northern position against a Muslim. You can see him at the back, just doing a little bit of spin to win micro. By the same time, he's got lumber preservation that's come in. Landmark has come up now for his opponent. And now we've got our spin battle that's going to be unfolding, as we love to see on these maps. The battle of the spinny Winnie. You got the one guy who likes to spin versus the other guy. A little bit too much light coming in from that angle. We might go look at this angle instead. Not as much light coming in from that angle. And players now looking to get into it. Looks like the Muslim, a little bit of a number advantage here, as he's going to force his opponent to fall back in this position. Now, one of the things to note, you've got to be very careful when you're chasing your opponent in situations like this, because it's very easy to leave 1 or 2 demo ships in the midst, or in the midst, I guess you call it, in the mist. It's probably a bit better to say. So yeah, the trick is you want to, like, leave your demo up there, bring your ships in from this angle, and then bring the demo down, because if you watch from Demuslim's perspective, he will have line of sight on that as it goes in. Oh, now we have trouble. Now we have potential trouble. He's got to be so careful. But there's the demo ship coming off, managing to take out 2 of those junks. Great job right there from Caspar. Very beautifully executed. Now on the other side of the map, we see the exact same thing happening. Caspar doing a really good job, but not going to have any clue about this unless it manages. Oh, he spots it. Oh, he makes a mistake though. He fires at it. Oh, you should have just left it. So he ends up taking full damage there. So if he just left it, if he didn't fire at it, if he just gone, then it would have been a different situation. Because essentially, if you manually detonate, if you detonate the demo ships manually, they do double the damage of a demo ship. Oh my god, so many Ds. So many double Ds right here, man. That's like a scene from Brazzers. If you detonate a demo ship manually, it does double the damage of a demo ship that is demolished not manually, I think. Essentially does double the damage if you press the Q button. Alright, so there's a little button that you can press on your demo ship, and it manually detonates. If you press that, you get lots more boom boom for your bang. Now we've got a landmark going to be coming down here on the shorefront. It's going to be the Imperial Academy. So nothing exciting getting dropped down, just heading towards that Song Dynasty. Now this fleet up towards the north continues falling back. War junk fleet, it is just full war junks. And we've got 3 more war junks that are coming out. So really, we're seeing mass war junks here. 6 and 4 versus just 10 up towards the north. So it seems like Demuslim's fleet is beginning to really start to pull ahead of his opponent. Got to be careful going into these stormy rivers right here. Not to be confused with Stormy Daniels, though. And Demuslim now looking to potentially lose a couple of fishing boats over here down towards the south. First one going to get taken out. Second one almost taken out. There it goes down. Third one going to get down as well. So, oh, he's close. He's close. But I'd be curious to see whether he actually looks to bring up more demos into this area. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually see demos get brought up. It looks like we might have a little bit of a flank coming through from Demuslim, though. He's decided he's going to give up the south side and instead push down towards this shoreline of his opponents. So potentially looking to even things out. And Casper, on the other hand, still yet to go up to that 4th age. We'll take a look at how Demuslim's doing. Both players relatively even when it comes to population. And now Demuslim managing to find a couple war junks here, stuck on the shoreline of his opponent. And keep in mind, these war junks got 7.5 range on their main cannons. So they've got a huge amount of range. And you can just see how much damage they put out as they begin to focus down the majority of these ships back here. It's going to force a response from Casper. We'll see as to whether he decides to go for the base race or whether he actually looks to defend his base. But instead, it's probably going to be a little bit of a base trade that's happening right now. War junk towards the top here, probably going to get taken out. You can see them teeing off. Not going to have any success right there. And now China. I mean, both players playing China, but Casper still going to be... Oh my god, there's such a force coming out from Demuslim. He's got 10 ships over here, or 9 ships over on this side. One just hanging out here, and then he's got a whole bunch of them up here. How does he have this many forces? And I'm sure Casper's probably asking the same question at this point, as he loses his 2nd dock now. 3rd dock potentially under threat here as well. It is not looking good for Casper. Going for this base trade probably wasn't the best decision. He lost 2 of the war junks down to the south. I think one of them also died up towards the north. So he's lost 3. Basically 3 for 1. He manages to take out 1, but keep in mind, I mean, it's such a difficult spot for him. He's going to try his best to come in here, but already the forces that are back here for Demuslim are able to deal with the forces that are at home. For Casper, it's just been that difference in the base trade and having your defenses up here towards the north rather than down towards the south, and we see players trying to spin to win. Casper doing his best. They're going to have to fall back with only 3 boats remaining. Now the majority of his fishing economy has also been cleaned up. There are a couple units out here remaining for Casper, but an incredible job right now from Demuslim. We'll have a look exactly how many units he's got out on the field. 15 of these war junks, and that is a huge amount. We see the docks getting thrown down here as well. Look at the resources he's got in the banks. He doesn't mess around when it comes to this. Casper now reaching the Imperial age. Okay, that's when things get serious. So Casper's got one way to win this, Imperial age, and he manages to hit it. So let's see how he manages to go. Is he going for explosives? No, he's going for Baoshuan. Very interesting. So typically against war junks, you can normally bait them because they're quite slow. You can bait them into a pretty good demo ship. Even if you just want to do like a nice little split where you've got like demos with fishing boats, like that's always an option. But the difficult part, I think, is going to be the fact that he doesn't actually have a lot of infrastructure here. He's making 3 Baoshuans. If he gets these out, he might be okay. He might be okay here. It's going to be incredibly difficult for him. I'm going to take a quick drink, though, just before we watch this happen, because, like, I mean, we're heading towards, like, a pretty crazy battle that's about to happen once these Baoshuans pop out. All right. We've got the Baoshuan out. 2,000 health on these bad boys compared to the 900 of a war junk. These guys do so much damage as well. They do huge AoE, able to fire over. You can see right there just the range on them as well. So they've got 10 tiles of range. Baoshuan going to begin teeing off against the enemy ships, and you can see right there all the damage that comes out. I think Casper's going to have this. He's definitely going to have to be in a... I mean, Demuslim's going to have to fall back. Surely there's no way he fights into this. It looks like he might actually be committing to it right now. Demuslim going to begin pushing in. You can see the way he's moving up, doing a little bit of a spin to win. Baoshuan sitting on the front line. Got to be careful as they do begin to move back, kiting as they spin on each side to get both broadsides off. You can see he's having a tough time, and it doesn't look like he's had enough Baoshuans as Demuslim continues to push in, and it looks like the last Baoshuan going to be going down now. It looks like a little bit of a splash in the water, and unfortunately, Demuslim going to be able to take Casper to school. Perhaps investing in explosives would have been the right decision, but it's too late to know right now because this Baoshuan is once again about to come out, but unfortunately, just going to get stabbed in the face with a big... what do you call that? It's a ballista. Big ballista. Baoshuans are an incredibly good unit if you can give them an appropriate force at the front. So what's that mean? Demo ships, baby. That's what you need to defend them. So when your enemy tries to push in, that's when you hit them with the demos. War junk now going to be able to take down some villages on the wood line here. Absolutely cheeky. Very, very cheeky right there. And Casper now stuck on his island with absolutely nothing to do. I feel like, I don't know about you guys, I used to play RTS games when I was a kid, and I would just like, I'd put myself on an island. I'd let the AI have the entire map, and I'd be like, well, it's just me and my island, man. Like, good luck trying to beat me. But unfortunately in AoE 4, there's a lot of ways to beat a person who just sits on their island. Number 1 is going to be the sacred sites. Number 2 is that you make a wonder, even though that's something that they can always do. And then number 3 is just brute force. You can just brute force them, baby. But I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing sacred sites getting picked up, at least as a way to force him out of that base. But now Casper behind this. I mean, there's not a lot of resources that are being gathered up. He's got 60 villagers at the moment, so it's not pretty. Compare that to the 88 that Demuslim's got. Demuslim definitely looking to close out this game, and you can see why many consider him to be one of the best players in the world, or if not the best player in the world for AoE 4 at this point in time. An incredibly competent, strong player, and doing incredibly well now as he continues to push in towards the dock of his opponent. Going to be taking that one out. Now, looking to actually take out the Barbican of the Sun. There's 10 villagers inside here. You can see that they're trying their best to take out the War Junk. It is losing a lot of health very rapidly. It is going to go down, but the Barbican of the Sun is also going to be going down with it as well. And I suspect with that, the chances of Casper to actually win this game. Landmark destroyed. We'll take a look at the landmark counter. You guys can have a look what that is. You got 3 landmarks to 4. Casper obviously having one less landmark than his opponent because he's had 2 siege down, but obviously up in the Imperial Age as well, so it gives him an extra landmark. But I wouldn't be surprised if we actually see a monastery coming out shortly. No monasteries at this point. No monasteries at this point. A transport ship, maybe? Do we have a transport ship? Like, at the very least, give me like a transport ship and a monastery? A lot of fishing boats that are out right now, though. Holy moly. Like, he's fishing like crazy. Well, I guess there's a lot of fish, isn't there? A lot of fish to be had. Makes sense. All right, so Demuslim has basically sealed up the entire... The entire shoreline, the coastline, has been completely sealed up by Demuslim. Casper, trying his best to put a keep down on the shoreline, loses 99% of his villagers doing it. He gets it up, but now he's going to try healing it up, but you can just see, like... I mean, it's definitely a good effort, and I will give it to Casper. When I watch him play, he's definitely the kind of guy that gives it until the last, until the game is over. He will really like try and play it. And you can see he's up in the Imperial Age. He knows he's got a win condition. I mean, he's one demo ship away from victory. That's really the best way to think about this. So don't think that he's out of the game just yet. So like, I wouldn't be surprised to see explosives come through very shortly, and then he's going for more Baochuans. I don't know why he just doesn't go for full demos. You just go for full demo ships, you'll be fine. More villagers going down. He's down to 38 villagers at this point. He's lost like 20 villagers just trying to build infrastructure on this shoreline. Can I just say, how nice does that look? The detail on this ship right here. I wish we could get in closer, but it looks really, really nice. Demuslim now Imperial Age himself. And that's where... he's going to be having a relatively easy time. Now we see the villagers moving across, so he could potentially be going for a proxy himself, or just looking to take the center islands. At this point, I'd probably just be going for a proxy. You can see he's got 1,600 stone, so maybe just get out, maybe drop a castle. Actually, you can't drop it there, and you can't drop it there. That's weird that you can't select that. You can select that, but you can't select this. Oh, maybe he didn't build that. Maybe he cancelled that. Looking to come in now to Demuslim, bringing the majority of his forces here. Still got a couple of war junks that are yet to make it all the way in. Baochuan going to be going down here on the front line, doing its best to spin around. Second Baochuan in the back, going to be trying its best to hold on. You can hear the cannon just absolutely ripping out of these ones. And where are those villagers? There should be villagers coming through somewhere. There they are. They're behind this. So villagers have been dropped off on the middle island. He's got a keep that's going to be going down on his side. He's taken out the majority of his enemy. And it looks like he's going to tap out. Casper will tap out. He realizes the game has been called. There is no way for him to win this. And a very, very difficult game for him. Demuslim, an incredible player. Now, fellas, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to encourage you guys, go over and check out Demuslim's YouTube. He just created a brand new YouTube channel now. This guy's one of the best players in the world. So I would encourage you, go over there, check it out. I'm going to leave a link in the description over towards it. It's literally like a few days old. So go have a look at that. Go say good day to him. And most importantly, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.